today, so hopefully it actually looks a little bit better. Just gonna play with it, see how it goes. I'm just gonna freestyle work on things today. I will jump around. I have no desire to follow a script. I am unscripted, and so I'm gonna work on the token generator. I'm gonna switch to Pact a little bit. I'm trying to clean up the IDE a little bit today, and I need to start hooking up sales contracts. But before we get started, I actually need to grab something. So I've been trying to say this all the time, and it would be very helpful if you don't have to view me on YouTube, but if you wouldn't mind following, there's no cost to it, following our YouTube channel. I'd appreciate that. Let's see if I can show it. So yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, it helps. Like, post, retweet, whatever you want. I'm gonna just kind of jump into it. I've got about an hour, and as always, stop me if you need to. Ask any questions you would like. I'm happy to do what I can to answer. But until then, I'm gonna be just going through. I'm gonna clean up a couple things. I may play with, I don't want to play with the colors because that'll take me like 3 hours to figure out a new color combo, but we'll just kind of have a little bit of fun with it and see where we get. I think ideally at the end of this, these buttons will be a little more useful. So I'm not sure how much just jumping into this people would understand, but essentially this is going to be the management panel for any smart contract you deploy. So there'll be more features in here as I can identify, and others can tell me, hey, what about this? I'll just add it. Just quick, like 15 minutes. Let's get it added to the site. So I think it's about ready where we can put this on testnet. It's actually ready for, some people have used it for testing features, and it's been very helpful to find bugs and things like that. But I need to get some more testing on the token generator itself. So I'm going to invite a small group of people this week to start testing that kind of quietly. But I want them to be people who are actually going to test it. And so it'll be important to me to kind of get that. But so those buttons that I was just showing you, they correspond to these different contracts here. So if you want to deploy a pre-sales contract, that's cool. It'll just add it to your list, and then it'll show up very seamlessly. So when you have a smart contract, you'll see you can pick them, right? And so this doesn't exist on chain. I actually didn't deploy it, but I captured all the steps up until deploy. So my local storage knows about this contract. Now, that doesn't help anybody. It's not like getting this info would hurt anything because you can't do anything with it. But what it allows me to do is it allows me to set some things. And so now when you start clicking these buttons, it knows your namespace already. It knows your contract name. And so if you have a sales contract, it immediately knows your contract name. If you deployed a token here, will be pre-sales in your module namespace, right? Your module in your namespace. So I can keep it consistent and easy. And I actually may change that a little bit so that it's your token name or your module name for your token -sale, -whitelist, there's another feature that I'm going to add that I don't want to share yet. But that's essentially what that is let's just make it super easy. If you have a contract, I'm going to write a little bit of metadata to your contract so that I can quickly read it. And that will help the DEXs, I believe, as well, be able to read in and validate, hey, these guys did these 3 things. They're locking the liquidity for X amount of time. They can't touch it. We're preventing those features from being touched for 6 months. So like we can put a rule in our governance cap that you can't modify that contract for 6 months, even if you own the contract, right? And so how do we do stuff like that? Really, actually simply, right? So I was thinking about this the other day, and this is an ode to our Skeleton King. Wonderful community, Skellies, just still one of my favorites on Kadena. And so this is going to be our new Burn wallet, which it's ready to go. It's just got to get deployed. I've got a couple contract updates to do to incorporate this. And so what you'll be able to do with something like this is we'll be able to tie this into the site as well. You can deploy your own, or you could just select and use ours. And once this date hits, this lock date, which is going to be hard coded in here, I can't touch this. Your funds are locked forever. So if you put funds in here, there's no way to get them out. And that lock date will actually coincide with like a week after I deploy. And I wouldn't recommend anybody send funds. I'll be sending funds to test, just to if there's any irregularities. But what you're going to be able to do with this is if you wanted to be able to burn stuff like your project, and it's tough. Hey, Nick, it's tough to accomplish right now. And exchanges don't really, I don't think really want to deal with that. So I think maybe it's like a more of a self-awareness thing if your project's going to sell services or provide something of value. If they've got a game, even if it's a little knick-knack, knock-knock jokes, you couldn't burn. You could self-burn, right? So the project itself could take in funds and burn some of those, right? And so this is a good way for anybody. So you'd be able to go, if you did get burned, this would return Heron's current burn. So you could do this. I was explaining this. You could do this, either listen to events. I read an event, and you know that there's a burn happening, and you can track that event. And so you could have your indexer spit those out on Twitter, on Telegram, on Discord, send you an alert, whatever. Or you could just read the delta of updates. So you'd have to get one update, and then whatever that update is, write it, and then check against that value. And then every hour or whatever, or however you want to pulse that, you can actually tell how often a burn's happening. So you could just apply some really, Andrew, some really, really basic logic, and get a benefit from it. And there's a little donate QR code in the top corner. I have no idea what that is. I think it's from Restream's new thing. I'm going to test that to see. I don't even know where that money goes. I don't care. I just do this for fun. So take advantage of it. If you have questions, I'm going to just start working. I've yapped on way too long. But that's it. It's just, I enjoy this. This is like my happy time. So if you want to interrupt that happy time, some people do. That's okay. If you want to have a question, I enjoy that the most. So that being said, this is going to be deployed this week, which means all the other updates, including some contracts that people have been curious about, should also get deployed this week, which is going to kind of set up what we're going to do next with the Heron project. What we're going to do with the token tools, and I'm going to tie it all together as best I can. Whether people use them or not, we'll see. But we'll have them. That's the best I can do. I can't force people to use them, but I hope that at least having them. Thanks, buddy. I hope at least having them turns out to be a positive. So with that, I'm just gonna start going through and working on a couple things here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is save this. So I actually want to get rid of. I actually want this. So this reads in from your local storage, but I also have. I don't want any back-end stuff. I've tried everything on this site to avoid it. I have it all. I have indexers. I have real-time notifications. I don't want any of that. I want it to be simple so that anybody can run this site. Because at some point I'm going to open source this so anybody can run this. Because it's like a plethora of tools in one, where if you wanted to mint tokens, you can see the code to do that. If you wanted to send massive transfers to people, like a huge list, it's got the code to do that. You can use that in your own project. Whether that helps me or hurts me is irrelevant. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So until then, we need to fix a couple things, like these buttons aren't lining up, and so I just need to go find where they are and clean them up before I can move on with my life, because that's going to drive me nuts. I don't know why. Actually, I don't know why they're margin. Oh, I see margin. There we go. That looks better. I think that's better. I don't know if I need more spacing, but yeah, it still works. All right, cool. This is going to be fun. Like anybody with a wallet, any wallet on here, you'll just be able to come in here and do whatever pretty much, I've been open about this before, like on our Telegram bots. If there's a project that wants like a feature that would be really helpful for them, I may not build it in here, but under the templates, I'd be willing to add, you know, a handful of these and maybe make it like a searchable field, sort it somehow. These are like the basic ones that I thought would be necessary. So if you want to do transfer, safe transfer, multi, I can add cross chain. I just don't. I have all the logic. I just don't really want to, but I can do that. We already have it in our create, but we can definitely add. What I'd like to be able to do is if you try to send a command from chain 1 to chain 2, it just knows that you need to cross chain it, so it should just handle that for you. Add it to the list of SIGs, and then it'll do the continuation and then send your command off. So ideally, I can make that better. But some people are like me and they want to be able to tinker with it. So this is the newest thing I added, so you can manage your capabilities a little bit easier and see them. But anyways, so let's do set sale date. So what we would need to be able to do for setting a sale date is, let's look. So for a sale date, we're going to read in the contract. That's step 1. Step 2 is determine or create a new sales array. And then you can either add or modify existing sales array before time ends, before sales period ends. And then I don't think you can really remove them once you set them. Maybe you just have to modify it at that point. And the last thing, what else do we want to do with sales? Set the amount to charge per sale. I'm not going to support anything other than your token for now. You're going to have to handle sales ADA to your token. That should be all we need there. And then whitelist sales. Whitelist sales, which is step number 2. So it's a different contract, but it's a different thing. So first we're gonna read in the contract. And these notes mean something to me. I know they look a little weird, but they do mean something to me. So if we're going to do sale whitelisting, so we're going to support whitelist per sales array. Or, per sales array. So you can be whitelisted through sales, and we can identify if it's a whitelist period or not. And if it's a whitelist period, identified as such, and then add accounts to the whitelist. I think that's all we need for that. And then the increment supply is actually one of the easier ones. I'm just adding that to your contract. So it's actually going to read in your contract, and that's actually probably the easiest one. The mint process I already have. So read in. So it's already read in. After must occur. After select your contract. Okay. And then I think that's pretty obvious. Mint what you want to where you want it to go. Must have admin plus. I must have govcat. I'm gonna make them do that. I think it gets too complicated otherwise. So I think that's a good plan of attack. So yeah, so let's do create a new sales array. So I have template for this. Create a new sales array. I think the multi-transfer tool, what I would do is probably just reuse this. I've already got it. I don't know why I wouldn't. And then do the receiver per line. We don't need a mount. And then what we can do is allow them to read in to drop in a CSV file. So let's just we'll work on that. And hopefully people can see my screen better now with these changes. So weird how my phone always buzzes as soon as I get on these things. So we have modals, a couple of them. Heck, I thought I saw one down here I need to move. I'm a little simplifying. I bet it's in utils. There's a modals. Alright, I get distracted very, very easily if you ever follow me. I'm terrible at it. So multi cross chain display. Modal. Okay, this is something else. The templates. All right, that's where these modals are. I forgot I separated them. It's not confusing at all. So let's do multi-transfer is a good one. And this is set whitelist modal. I'll just start with that one because that one is easiest. So what we would need to add on here, so we'll need account. We don't need account here. We need, I guess we do. We need to set that as center. So let's add, all right, so equal distribution, I don't need. Amount, I don't need. So instead of receivers, let's say add set whitelist. Sender set sender. So we'll set them as that. And the receiver change. So this is our whitelist now. Whitelist. Value is greater than. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whitelist. Handle receiver change. Handle add receiver. Set whitelist. I cannot, for the life of me, spell. All right. Styling is not my. Oh yeah, I did that. Spelling is not my friend. That's okay. Handle remove. I just want all this to be a whitelist. Add whitelist. Okay. All right, new. Oops. So for this, I think we need so I didn't explain this, but this right here, the reason I track this is I need a sender for your commands. Some of my commands I allow you to change the sender. In this case, I'm gonna let everybody, if you use a template, click a button, which will export your contract so that you can sign it somewhere else. So I should be able to let you change the sender in case you want somebody else to send it. It's just I want to keep this flow going. It just doesn't make sense if you're using the site. But some people wanted to use Chainweaver or CLI stuff, but like very easy way to construct a command. Uh, I would use CLI for that if I'm going to sign it in CLI. But for Chainweaver, this might not be a bad thing. I mean, especially if you're a non-dev, I think it's perfectly fine. So for this, we would need let's see. This would be contract set underscore. You know what? That's probably fine. So then this would be whitelist. Nope. Set whitelist. So this would just be sender. And then contract. Easy enough. I read that in. Yep. Contract. So this would be a whitelist. Okay. Need coin.gas. That's fine. ENV data is unlikely to be needed. However, why don't we reuse our logic? Sender. Yeah, let's just reuse this logic because then I can feed a bunch of, we can create a bunch of efficiencies in here. So this is going to be contract dot set whitelist. Oh, shite list. Whitelist. Set whitelist. Okay. She just need one capability. Read string. Sender. Yeah, that's fine. And then that'll be an array. I'll not have to modify that. That should be all I need. Okay, capabilities ENV data. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of our whitelisters here. And we'll have to map over that. For now, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to clean all that up later. I don't need that. Okay, so this is a whitelist handler. A whitelist. Add Set whitelist? I don't know. Set whitelist is good enough. So sender will show set sender default to connected. Whitelist address. Handle. I don't want to screw that up. Handle waitlist. All right. Handle amount. This is equal distribution. Oh, I don't need this. I don't need any of this. I need this. Add whitelist. Handle add whitelist. It's not equal. We don't need this. Okay. Let's see if we have any errors. All right, so set whitelist modal. Set whitelist modal. And now, yeah, that'll just do it for us. So we just want to track the state for when that modal is supposed to be open and not. Let's see, multi-transfer. So there should be a handle. Are these on the IDE page, or did I put them somewhere else, actually? On submit, I think I might have put them in. Yeah, I'm wondering if I put them somewhere else. These are under managed smart contract. I think I made my own component for that. So we don't actually want this in here. Contract management. Handle select token, yep. Sales info here, handle whitelist. set. Oh, I'm gonna have to add that in here. All right. Import. So let me grab. Okay. No problem. Alrighty. Handle whitelist. I'll pop these up. I don't feel like recreating this. I just set the modal open. Yep. And then on submit, set everything. Code capabilities, env data. So let's just grab that. On submit whitelist. Set code capabilities, env data. Am I defining all those? Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Justine. Very helpful. All right. So code capabilities, env data. We're getting fed into this. Really? Is that what I called it? Whatever. All right, so I can just keep using this. All right, so is open, sends that. We'll just mirror it. All right, is open. Is that is submit whitelist account. What else do we have in there? Account and contract. So contract equals contract. All right, where are we getting contract from? Set contract. Oh, somewhere in here. Contract management. What do we call it? Contracts. Contracts. Handle select token contract. Contracts loaded. I feel like contract has to be in here. Selected. Selected. Okay. See how bad I butchered it. All right, so we're going to, we've got this selected. No, nothing. Got nothing for us. Handle don't understand. Collapsible menu. So is the template section. Template selection. Okay, so they are in here, so I screwed up. All right. So I don't want them in there though. Can I just send them from here? What do I have to import? Let's see, I have my modal handler. Added in here. See if that messes up my div. Oh, perfect. Okay, so should be able to add that here now. Okay. Oh, I probably gotta handle. Whitelist. Oh. What do I need? Just set the modal, right? Yep. Handle. Yeah, just set the modal. That's easy. Okay, so set. True. There we go. Okay, sender. Perfect. And now the worst part on Earth for me is why is that so small? Whitelist. I'll just pull this over for a second. Whitelist address. Where are you? Gap. I don't see. I see. Okay, that's okay. I pulled that out. That's my fault. Let's see. Where's my trash can? Column span 1. Span 11. The heck? $11. Whitelist address. It's 12. This is 12. And so this should be 11. Why is it? Okay. Border dash. Whitelist address. So that takes that up. So the map 12 items. So span 2. And 10. It's like that's the gap. I wonder. Okay, I know what it is. I think. Let's just go back and change all these back, and I think it goes here. 10. Oh, grids. Can't see it. My sight's grayed out. Ay, ay, ay. Let's find it. My least favorite part of all this. This is why I usually don't do web design while I'm talking. Let's see. Why do I have so many? Class name. Interesting. That was the right one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Call span. Oh, yep, that makes total sense actually. Total sense. There we go. Yep. I had a function that was handling that for me before, and when I got rid of it, all the logic that went into formatting this went away. All right, so you can handle. I'll add validation in here too. Okay, I gotta fix that. Object separate list. So we're gonna want that to be. Yeah, it can work like that for center, but it can't for this. Let me fix that type. Whitelist. All right, let's see. Set whitelist code. Whitelist. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Read message. Whitelisters. Much better. Eh. Whitelisters, that'll be better. This is what I want anyways. No reason to recreate it. So set whitelist, so Y is selected. So I picked right, selected. Console log contract. Let's see. Contract. Okay, so it's an object. Contract management. First. Let's see. Parse handle contract. Parse equal key. C split. Almost there. All right, so I need contract key. So this would be like const C equals contract dot split. Okay. Key split. Okay. Almost there. Almost done. See. Sure it is. Why is it not? Oh, key. Contract, is that key in there? Contract that key. So annoying. I guess I could show what I'm doing. What's the whitelist address for? So the whitelist address is for when you want to when you're setting up your smart contract, if you want to do sales and you want to whitelist people so that they can get either early entry, better price, or participate, you validated them. Maybe you wanted to KYC people. I don't know. The whitelist is set up to be able to do that. So it's kind of important. You don't have to use it. That's why it's optional. There you go. So yeah, so there you go. If I wasn't being clunky, this wouldn't have taken as long. Uh, and I added this earlier account. I need to line this up to the right. But basically, I wanted to show what account was connected because it was kind of confusing when you're working in here. You don't really know what account is there. So I thought that was helpful. But I want to line that up better so that's kind of on the right side. Could do a Twitter drop with your Twitter. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Mr. Otter. Okay, so we're going to read in this array. We don't need to handle it any different. We can just send it an array with 1 value or 10. What I'm going to do in what I have done in Pact is I'm going to read that and then just send it in as individuals. So it'll take care of itself. You can bundle a lot in one transaction. Set sale date. I think this is all I need for whitelist. Add, remove. No errors. It'll fail if you try to send it, but it'll tell you why. Failure. Cannot resolve. Not resolve. Yep. Perfect. It's handling my errors better now. Yeah, that's all you're going to need. And then you may want to do like get a list of whitelist people. Maybe. Whitelist sales. I think I'm going to do this where it's a modal. And then maybe menuize this a little bit, potentially, so that you can view a list of people. Like set whitelist, so set whitelist. And then how does that look? Sender whitelist. A weird space here compared to here. Well, I think it might be the same as that. Looks about right. So somewhere in here, I'm going to want a button. Submit, cancel. I'll have to think about that. Or I can put it here. I just don't want this to get too noisy. Like, whitelist jail should be one thing. Set sale date should be another. Increment supply. It's just simple. That's actually the simplest one. So yeah, so by that logic, we can quickly now that we've got that in the right place, quickly add a new template. So this would be increment. So amount. We just do something like that. Yeah, this would be like increment modal. Contract will be good now. Space, really. Plus that. Handle amount. It'll be handle amount change. We did that. Multi-transfer. We did that in here. Probably do the same logic here, but they don't need to. It's just one amount. So I probably can just handle it as, yeah, I can probably just handle it as under month. Nope. I think supplies and integer. No, is it? I have to go find out. Earn. Open. Supply's got to be decimal, right? Yeah, it's got to be decimal. But it's fine. I'll handle that. Let's see. I'll just read decimal. No amount. Oh, so I don't need any of this. Handle amount change can just be simple amount. Handle add. So this would be your contract dot increment supply values. So we'll want to know who this is going to go to, and then decimal amount. So we'll need receiver. The nice thing is when I'm done with these, I'm pretty much done. So it's not like it's going to be much longer time. I got a little bit of time in the afternoons right now, later afternoon, and at night. That's when I usually chug through this stuff. Caffeine and C4 and get the out of my way. Alright, I don't care about Thunder. Right? No. Don't care about that. Amount. I'll reformat that. And then we'll do read decimal amount. So this is our contract that increment supply. And this is going to be receiver. Guess I could just do a receiver amount. Although I do think I need to reformat that a little. We'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so this is increment supply. Nope, and I gotta go. We'll finish this up and probably post some of this and test it and add the contract, and then I'll, like I said, a small group we can test. So hope people enjoyed this. Like I said, I could be on for about an hour, and we're about to hit that mark. Again, if you wouldn't mind, please check out our YouTube. Subscribe. It's all in the streams in there. I gotta put more like crafted videos, but I've worked on a couple of them now that I have my voice again. I'm very happy about that, and hopefully this was not a complete waste of anybody's time. I enjoy these. It's just a quick way to kind of show when I've got a few minutes what I'm working on, and I probably could have done all this if I wasn't on stream a lot faster without the talking and the thinking, and but I wouldn't have as much fun. So again, I hope everybody has a good day. I'm going to try this new stream software from Restream. It looks a lot better. But yeah, cool. Yeah, it does all these interesting things. So kind of a fan. So on that note, take it easy, and hope everybody's